Good morning to everyone. I have a brief presentation on the pulp and paper industry, and if the presentation can be shared. Basically, Indian Paper Manufacturers Association represents large integrated pulp and paper mills in India. All wood-based pulp and paper mills are members of IPMA. I'll come to the details later. So if you categorize paper in terms of the different grades, there are basically five major grades. First is writing and printing paper, which is around 30% of the total paper production. Next is packaging paper and paperboard, which is around 60%. Then we come to newsprint, which is around 5%. Then we have specialty paper like tissue or security paper or bank paper and others which constitute around 5%. So a total of 100%. But the annual turnover of the industry is 70,000 crores with a domestic market size of 80,000 crores. That is when you include imports which are coming into the country. The industry as a whole provides direct employment to 5 lakh persons and indirectly to 15 lakh. The number of mills in India are around 900, but unfortunately around only 530 are operational. The rest have closed down due to commercial unviability in the past 2 decades. India's share in world production is around 5%. And we are 5th largest in the world after China, US, Germany, and Japan, with the estimated production of around 19 to 20 million tons per annum. You can see the growth potential of the industry in this slide. The per capita income, per capita paper consumption in India is only around 15 kgs, while the global average is 57 kgs, and it is upwards of 200 kgs in the developed countries. So as a result, the demand for paper in India is growing at 6 to 7% per annum, making it one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing large markets in the world. The pulp and paper industry has very strong linkages with the farming community through its agroforestry, farm forestry programs. I'll come to more details later in a slide. Of course, the industry is compliant with the government's environmental charter, and periodically the emission and effluent standards which the pulp and paper industry has to meet are becoming more and more stringent. Next slide, please. Yeah. In the last 2 decades, the paper industry has made substantial investments, apart from increasing production capacities, also in adopting clean and green technologies, more energy efficient technologies, because paper industry, by its very nature of its production process, is energy intensive. In most grades of paper, India has enough domestic capacity to meet the growing domestic demand, and also now increasingly in the last few years, countries. Given the future growth scenario, we need at least 1 million tons of additional capacity for paper production to be created in India so that we can meet the growing demand. If the additional capacity is not added, we'll have to rely increasingly on imports, which will result in substantial foreign exchange outflow apart from other issues. Next slide, please. Yeah, this gives you a scenario in terms of the estimated production. in terms of the raw material use, there are three alternate raw materials which are used by the pulp and paper industry: wood and bamboo to some extent uh, constitutes around 21% of the total production. Agro residue, bagasse, wheat straw, this constitutes around 8%, and the waste paper recycled fiber constitutes 71%. See, paper is one of the most recycled products in the world. It can be recycled 6 to 7 times. Each time the quality of the fiber and the length of the fiber goes down. So as a result, the quality of paper also goes down. But like I said, the paper can be recycled 6 to 7 times. Most of the wood which the paper industry is sourcing comes from Andhra and Telangana. Almost 40% of the total sourcing is from Andhra and Telangana. The previous speaker was talking about certification. Uh, Basically, there's no premium as such in the domestic demand for paper made out of wood certification, certified wood. So as a result, whenever pulp or paper mills are exporting, and if that country requires wood certification, then our paper mills go in for FSC certification and in some cases even PEFC certification. Next slide, please. Now, I've already spoken about, the growth in paper consumption, which we estimate to be 6 to 7% per annum increase. The main reason is we are still at a very low level of per capita paper consumption. With economic growth, changing demographics, lifestyles, improving living standards, the consumption is bound to grow up. Additionally, with greater emphasis on education and literacy by the government, paper will be required in increasing quantities. Similarly, now everything comes in a package. Earlier there was a time when you could buy things off the shelf without any packaging in any shop across the country. But now even the most elementary things come in some kind of packaging. So that is also a major driver for packaging paper. Similarly, some industries have listed out like FMCG products, textiles, pharmaceuticals. As these industries grow, they have a direct linkage with their packaging requirements, which is also a driver for the paper industry. Also, the booming e-commerce in the countries, which has especially been reinforced in the last 2 years, impacted by the pandemic, requires a lot of packaging. Also, increasing preference for food, for other products are also drivers for packaging and paperboard. Next slide, please.